Hey, and welcome to Respawn Point. I'm Michael.
And I'm Zach.
I'm the tech guy.
I do vision seeing, light bending things.
We talk about whatever on this podcast, whether it's from technology to eyes to what's going on in the world. Although I stay out of politics because it's just gross.
Yeah, like to stay out of that one. I also do a side bit of music, play games, kind of branch out into just different topics that we enjoy.
And we're brothers, or whatever that means. We're still we're breaking in, into this. We're working out the kinks, so forgive us or don't. I mean, I don't tell you what to do. How's your week been, man?
The week has been pretty good, going by fast, actually. I feel like it was just Monday, and now it's already end of the week here. I don't know. It's been, I don't know, drama free. Been good,
That's
Yeah.
good. My week has been stressful,
Okay.
but only because work has been stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's that time of year with like Halloween upcoming. There's also the stress of like getting a costume, which I did. I'm going to be Ichigo because I'm an anime weeb, whatever.
You weeb.
Um,
It's okay. I was the exact same costume last year. I have the same outfit,
yeah,
but I have the full mask too. Yeah,
the full mask. It looks so sick too. Like I
it
could switch
does.
between the two. I also have the half mask as I do this with my face that you cannot see. Except for people on YouTube. Hello.
Hi.
But I'm like, "This is so cool. I love the robe." I put it on. I'm like, "I am overweight." Uh,
Mm,
so I've been working out, although work has been so busy. I'm really bad at waking up because I am
mm-hmm.
a night owl. I will stay up late, way later than I should. And then if I go to bed early, I went to bed last night, probably one of the earliest I've ever went to bed because I do all the Fitbit watch and all that stuff, and it tells me you went to bed at this time.
You went to bed
And
at 11:30. Huh, that's the earliest I've gone to bed.
I guess I was asleep by 10:14, but I was in bed at like 8:30.
That's not bad.
I don't ever go to bed at 8:30. Or
Yeah, I'm surprised to actually hear that. I was thinking like 11:30 is early for you. I don't know
yeah,
why.
it's hard to say here, but I got a little star next to my thing
Mm-hmm.
because I got 7 hours and 44 minutes of sleep, which is
Okay,
one of the longest time. I'll bring it up with the camera here.
there we
There we
are.
go.
Yeah. Okay, so usually you've
So
been
like
right about
like 7 hours, then it's like 5 hours, and then like
6.
Sundays are my good days. Went to bed at 12:46, 12:10, 11:58, 1:06 AM.
Normal sleeping times that you go to bed. It's
Yeah,
okay.
so bad.
All good. I mean, I'm like, okay, I gotta go to bed early. And like I usually think, okay, 9:30, 10, I should probably start thinking about laying in bed. I will lay in bed and then I won't go to bed until 1 o'clock almost. Just being up at night, like having things and thoughts in my head of like,
Flip back and forth on my pillow, face one way, face another
yep.
way, and, like, I get comfortable, then I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm restless," and then
Mm-hmm.
I, like, be thinking in my head, and then it'll literally be the time whether if I just stayed up, I would've been, like, the same time to go to bed, but I was like, "I'm gonna get up at 5:50 so I can come down here and work out at 6 and work out from 6 to 6:45, 6:50,
Mm-hmm.
and then take the kids to school and whatnot." I have yet to be successful at that at all. What I was doing was taking my lunch break
Mm-hmm.
from work and work out during lunch. It
Yeah.
has been so busy because we're trying to get all the stuff done for end of year revenue. There's a whole lot of
Mm-hmm.
pressure. We're just trying to close things off. So I have been working through my whole day. I've been working through lunch, and some days I've been working till like 6, 6:30, 7 p.m.
Oh
Uh,
man.
and so I have missed most of my workouts this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel it.
You
Like
can tell a difference.
yeah, I've been working out, 2 hours on the weekends and then like a half hour to almost an hour during the weekdays when I would do it at lunch.
Okay.
And I felt amazing, but I've been like sluggish. I feel like, ugh. And then
Mm-hmm.
now my wife is like, "Hey, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon and I'm going to work out and get fit and lose weight." And so I'm like,
Let's do it.
"Yes, let's do it." And I'm like, God, I need to get back into the groove, but I am not a morning person. I'm going to have to set up a time, whether it's I just say after work from 5 to 6,
Yeah.
that's the time I have to work out
Just
because
dedicating an hour.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm never gonna be able to I'm never gonna wake up early.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just own it. I am not a morning person. My wife, she'll get up like that. If she even, like has a hint of being awake, she can't go back to sleep and she'll be up. Whether it's 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, doesn't matter.
Really? Oh, that's gotta be
Mhm.
an interesting, because if I get woken up, I can go right back to bed. I am not a morning person myself either. I will try to find every reason to stay in bed as long as I can. And then once I'm up, I'm able to get going. But then, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'll agree with you. Like trying to do workouts in the morning is hard. Like there was a period of time I was with my roommates doing
Mhm.
workouts. I think I've told you this. Like I was getting up at like 3:30 ish, almost four, to get ready to go to the gym and be there about like 4:20, 4:30. Work out for about an hour or two. Get home. It'd be like 6 o'clock, and then I get ready for my day.
Yeah.
I could not continue with that schedule.
There was a time I'd get up with my wife and we'd be going in 5:30 to the gym. That was different because the difference was it wasn't just me saying like, "Get out of bed, get out of bed,
Hmm.
you idiot,
Hmm.
get out of bed," and I roll over and still go to sleep. Like she'd be like, "You getting up? Let's do this," and I'm like, "Yeah, totally."
Yeah.
I think it's because it's like there's someone else that's giving accountability, and you're like,
Yeah.
"No, we agreed to this. I don't want to disappoint you
Hmm.
or disappoint myself." And like, I don't know. It's something about having another person.
Yeah. Accountability partner in that sense. Yeah.
And I know she'll be up early on weekends, and I'm sleeping in.
Hmm.
But I'm a night owl, and I think
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just gonna own it.
I think you and I are both very similar that way, though, with being night owls. And I think that just comes from where we grew up because we always were just like up late, sleep in, burn the midnight oil. I don't know if that's just because of like how our family was, but I don't know. It's just kind of a thing I noticed.
If I'm not totally burnt from like a very, very stressful day, I get a lot
Hmm.
of my creativity stuff at night too. Like,
Yeah. Same for, well, like whenever I'm doing my music projects, like it's late at night for me. That's where like the cool ideas come out that I feel
yeah.
really inspired. I can get into a groove because it's just kind of, you're by yourself and you're just kind of in
Mhm.
your routine. There's something kind of comforting about it too, I feel. When it's
Yeah.
just like it's just you, it's the late night, you can just kind of set your mind to do what you need to. And I mean that's been my headspace.
That's a very good point. In the mornings, I'm thinking about my day. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna be doing. I'm distracted. I'm thinking about making sure the kids are ready to go. They did their things in the morning. They have all they
Mhm.
need. Is the coffee pot going? Like I'd be,
Mhm.
all of these things and then thinking about all of the impactful things of the day. So I'm
Mhm.
distracted when I am, in the morning, and
Yeah.
it's almost like that additional pressure. But like you
Mhm.
said, at night, like right now at this instant,
Yeah.
everyone's asleep. I mean, my wife's probably still reading or doing something, hanging out. Honestly, I know what she's doing. She's scrolling through like TikTok right now or short,
Oh,
like I know
probably.
exactly what she's doing.
Yeah. I think that's probably what my wife is doing actually right now as well.
Yeah, and that's totally fine,
Yeah.
right? I'm here, but I don't have any worry of like the thing I need to do. Are they like, do they need me? Do I need to be cooking dinner? Like you said, it's a safe zone. You don't have to use any of your brain space for preparing for the day or thinking about things. You can just say, "Hey, this is my time to focus on what I
Yeah.
need. Everything else is where it needs to be and in its place."
Yeah, I really like the idea. That's kind of been the mindset I had. You don't really have expectations other than what you set for yourself. Just yeah, everybody's asleep because when I wake up too, my mind's immediately thinking, okay, well, I gotta get Maya fed, my dog. I gotta get the coffee going. I've got to think about traffic. I gotta check my time. I'm like an hour away. What is traffic looking like? Do I need to leave at this time? What is my day looking like? How busy are we going to be? Do I gotta get gas? My brain is like, and it's only been the first few minutes of waking up and I'm working through the day. While it's late at night, you just kind of have peaceful, everything's later.
I have to ask you something.
Okay.
Do you and I suffer from the same problem in the morning? Have you ever been asked questions or agree to something early enough in the morning, like right as soon as you wake up, and your significant other is like, "Hey, what do you think about blah 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 blah? Is that
Mm-hmm.
cool?" And I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
fine."
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
5 minutes later, I have no recollection of what was just said.
Yeah. It kind of went in and then out.
And then
Yeah.
later I'll be like, "I think I'm gonna do this." They'd be like, "But we agreed we're gonna do this. Don't you remember yesterday morning at like
Mm-hmm.
7:52 in the morning when I said
Yeah.
da 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 da?" And I was like, "No."
And my response to that is, okay, first off, you were talking to me at 7:52 in the morning and thinking that I was actually a functioning human being.
I mean, if she ever wanted something like, "Go buy me the brand new iPhone," I want
Yeah.
The best way to do it would be in the morning when I'm, like, totally out of it.
Oh yeah. Well, you did say we do this. Did I? I don't remember.
She could just gaslight me and tell me something I'd say that she did say it.
Yeah. Hey Zach, you said that you were going to, give me the new iPhone 15, or hey, you said we were gonna like go out to this really nice dinner and you were paying for this tonight, right? That was the plan. And I was like, I don't remember anything. I have been guilty in general though of my spouse and I coming up with plans and then me completely derailing and I'm over here like, I'm gonna go play games tonight. And she's like, are you? I was like,
That's when he knew.
yes.
But, no, she's a wonderful person. She would
Oh
never
yeah.
do anything like that. I don't know how many times I've been reminded about something or told about something. Usually, it's in regards to, like, a vet appointment
Mm-hmm.
or email about the kids about, like, "Hey, this came in the
Yeah.
email. Can you remember to tell the teachers blah when you pick them up?"
Mm-hmm. Like little anecdotes to your day of just like, oh, I need to do this. Or, I mean, for me, it's little things of, oh, I need to remember to tell my boss that I need to take this time off for X thing. Or, oh, I'm going to be coming in late for X reason. Oh,
Mhm.
I forgot to tell him. Oopsies. But
I
yeah.
told her the best ways is to either message me on, like send me, like, a message on the phone or put a Post-it note on,
Yep.
like, on the counter or more or if you really if it's really critical, put the Post-it note here on the computer.
I am trying to learn the technique of putting the whatever I need to remember to either bring or do. I have a post-it note like you're trying to put that in front of the door before I leave. I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, okay. Either I need to remember to bring something, or I'll be like, take this with me and be like, I need to talk to my boss about this X reason thing, whatever, etc.
Yeah.
My wife is wonderful, but she would never like be mean to me or anything. I back that. She just picks on me for my forgetfulness,
I mean, it comes with the territory. I mean,
right?
if my wife's gonna be mean to me, I probably deserve it. Like, let's be honest, I probably did
Yeah.
something stupid.
Yeah, I feel that.
Getting back to the costume stuff and the whole
Hmm.
this, like, tangent I created. Definitely need to lose weight because, man, I don't I see this picture I sent you in Discord of me wearing it. I hate it. I've got a plan. I mean, I'm doing fine. I'm actually losing
Hmm.
weight.
Yeah. Well, you're moving, and you're getting your body to be burning calories.
And then I got this, like, under my desk treadmill thing, and it was really cool. And
Hey.
then the problem was it took too much power because I only have so much power in this basement until I get it
Yeah.
redone, which is something I'll have to pay for, like, next year.
That's
Um,
a later expense. That's like another. Yeah.
yeah, and I need a bunch of better quotes. The guy that quoted me, I was like, "Are you kidding me? No way."
Are you sure about
Um,
that? Yeah.
yeah, it was like, ugh. But yeah, I need to add that because it was actually really cool to be whether I'm, like, watching a movie or watching a stream or we're watching a tutorial or even, like, reading some documentation, like, just walking on the little under desk treadmill and
Hmm.
then watching the screen was really cool. It helped me get my steps in each day.
Yeah. No, I totally understand. I mean, I am also an office worker, so um, I've definitely noticed the change because all my previous jobs were a lot of movement and a lot of standing, and going from that to being just an office worker and then being at home and just wanting to just relax a lot of the time. I've noticed
Yeah.
that I have not been burning what I need to. And so I've been like, I personally have been feeling like I've been either gaining weight or I've been just like, I just don't feel like I feel ugh now.
Mhm.
I've noticed. I like, so I understand you there.
We'll get through it though. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I think the costume's still cool though.
yeah,
I don't think you need to be so hard on yourself.
I'm so good at it.
We're our best critic, right? Best
Oh,
critic,
yeah. Oh,
you know?
absolutely. Let's see, other than that, this week I mean, otherwise, the week's been pretty good. Um, it's just been high stress from work, so I just need to get that stuff done, which I'll see it calming down. Well, it depends. Hopefully, it'll calm
Mhm.
down.
At some point, right? For
Yeah.
us, work's going to start ramping up with the holidays. My job is one of the ones that end up getting worse when it becomes the seasonal time because everybody decides that either you get glasses as a gift or
Mm,
everybody's using up their insurance before it's the end of the year. So
yep.
that's like the biggest one. And that's actually why like during Christmas especially like it's hard to get time off with family.
Mm,
Because like especially like that last like week of December, we usually are like how retail associates are, we get blackout dates where we can't do anything. We have to be at work all the way up through like almost the 25th is black it out. Like it's crazy. Or especially I can imagine on the lab side, it's just like every optical is going to be super busy because when I've worked in an optical around Christmas time, it's you're just talking to everybody, and it's just like it's literally like you get a pair of glasses, like you fit and then dispense, and then you're selling glasses, and then you're dispensing glasses, and then you're adjusting glasses, and you
Yeah.
don't have a second to breathe. So I can imagine on the lab side it's going to just be now the production side because it's multiple
Mhm.
opticals just sending their stuff in, and
Yeah.
I bet
Oof.
it's going to be busy this year.
Yeah, I bet. Holy crap. Good luck.
Thanks.
Oh man. Let's see. I also do my YouTube channel and trying to
Hmm.
get my game studio up and running. And my current sprint just ended today. I do 3 week sprints, which in software we do this thing called Agile, where you create a block amount of time, you plan for what's going to be in there, and you just focus on the tasks there. It helps you stay focused on the work that you want to get done and accomplished. I'm trying to build a prototype for my next game, work on a single YouTube video that I want to get out, which was going to be this like strategy pattern explanation thing, but there's a game that has come out. It's on Switch, and I think it's like originated from Japan, China. I don't know where it's from. I'll have to look up.
Hmm.
I don't know much about it other than I see it like streamed everywhere. It's called Suka, Suika. Yeah,
Suka.
Suka. It's a watermelon game, apparently. Um,
Mm.
Known as the watermelon game in the English language. It is a fruit Tetris game, in a sense. And I was thinking, what if in this 3 week sprint,
Hmm.
I make a video about making a little like clone to this, but the idea for it is very, very, very simple.
Okay.
Suga. So it's like a cherry, then a watermelon, then a grape, a pear, and then an orange. I don't remember.
I'm
I'm
curious
really
on,
bad about
yeah,
these
what's the
fruits.
conversions? So what goes
Apples.
into what?
Yeah, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then like you can't have if the fruits leave the box, like if the things that you stack it up like Tetris, if it goes
Hmm.
above, it's game over. And you get so many points for
Huh?
combining. And then there's gravity where like things shift. So I had a thought. In a 3 week period, it's just pixels dropping. In Godot, to me, it looks like a rigid body, which I spent weeks working on a rigid body tutorial that I have not released and probably will have to redo because I don't like the way I did it. So
Okay.
just
Yeah, we'll just have to scrap the whole thing over and just do it again.
yeah, I'm gonna pull a Mr. Beast and be like, no, I'm not actually gonna release that video. I know it cost $1 million, but I'm not gonna release it.
Yeah, just wasn't good enough.
So, I was gonna do that, but I really wanna align it with Halloween. Like, I'll probably have to finish it because my sprint starts Saturday,
Hmm.
and 3 weeks is actually, like, the 11th?
Okay.
Well, I guess it'd be, like, the 9th.
Would be.
But I want to
Yep.
release the game and the video close to Halloween because I wanna make a Halloween-themed version of this game where you,
Well,
like
oh,
where instead of it, like, being a bucket, it's like a bucket for, like, trick or treating.
yeah,
And you start with, like, you can little things are like candy corns, you mix
yeah.
candy corns together, and I figured it'd be a
Then
really
go into like like there's lollipops, then going into like or Hershey. Okay, okay.
mhm,
Hmm.
and then to be bigger, and then the goal is to not let your candy spill out of the bag. Like, I think
Yeah,
it's a great clone,
that
and
is.
it will help my sanity because my other game I'm working on that I'm trying to build a prototype is, a 3D stylized game, and, you know, this will
There's just a little bit more that you want to work on with that for that to meet your expectations.
yeah,
And
it's a nice way to make the video and work on
mhm.
something, like, to distract me a little bit, but,
Yeah,
and it does a little bit
still
of
be
2D.
productive. Yeah,
So I think
I
it'd be
would
fun.
agree. I like the idea. Halloween themed is pretty cool.
Mhm.
Good clone, and it's more in the 2D world, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a little from what I understand, the other stuff that you were working on with rigid body that you were running into.
Yeah, I scrapped out of the video because it was, very one-dimensional. It was an asteroids game for everyone else to be aware of. I made, like, a little asteroids game, and there's a lot in there I didn't want it to be too big, and I was like, "Well, if I'm gonna showcase a rigid body, I should really go beyond asteroids. It should be like, here's space, here's a character." I wanted to
Hmm.
do kinda, like, different concepts and, like, understanding materials and stuff, so I was like, "Alright, I'm gonna come back to this because it's multifaceted."
Yeah,
And then, and I'll do the strategy pattern one too because it's one of my favorite design patterns, and you should know design patterns.
yeah.
Either way, I think this would be cool. Next episode, I'll show off where I guess where I'm at on that.
That'd be cool. Kind of see where you're at. Yeah, sounds good.
It's kind of relaxing.
Yeah, so I could see it like you could maybe like have different customizations too, maybe with the treat bag. I don't know, little cool little things. I don't know how far you want to go
I'm not
into
gonna
it.
spend too much. I'm gonna do it and post it on itch.io, and it'll be like free. If I want to take it further, I will, but I think it'd be just a nice thing to post out there. Dual.
Hmm. I'd be
Um,
curious to see what. So, what are you thinking about the conversions for like the candy? So you have like candy corn going into what's next, and what goes into that, and then what builds up from
yep,
there.
I have to figure that out, and I don't want it to be
Ah.
too complicated because I have to draw it. And these are just the current one's just circles with eyes. Like it's
Hmm.
simple. So I want to
Yeah.
go. I want to lean on simple.
I like it. Simple and concise, and it gets you something that's just kind of creative and like ebb and flow for you to do. So while you have your rigid body project that you want to do, this is something else that's like, hey, let's work on it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah.
So I'll come back to the rigid body tutorial. This is I'm really saying okay. I'm only gonna make one YouTube video every 3 weeks because I'm
Hmm.
also working on my primary game that I will be releasing on Steam and itch.io and all that,
Hmm.
the detective game, and so I'm gonna be working on the prototype for it these next 3 weeks as well.
Hmm.
Um,
Which I was gonna help you out with the music on that. Which I had a few ideas on. I was kind of messing around in GarageBand a little bit, just some ideas for that, and once I have it finalized, maybe I can show that for the next either podcast if you wanted, or if we wanted to, kind of go over anything there at all.
yeah, yeah, I'm on for that. If people wanna hear it, that's cool too. If they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh god, don't tell them about game design. Don't talk about leave your tech at the
Hmm.
door." Like, what
Leave it there.
I mean,
Well, this is what makes me happy. Come on.
yeah, yeah, I'm gonna talk whatever I want to talk about. But yeah, I think it'd be cool. I'd like to know what you're thinking. I've got
Hmm.
a bunch of stories written, which is like the tasks, um, that I'm gonna be doing the next 3 weeks. It's obviously not everything. There's too much for even, the prototype that I wanna build is probably gonna take, more than 3 weeks. I've gotta create the apartment so the game itself is a detective mystery. I've always been bugged that when you play a detective game, you can only play it once,
Yeah. Once it's
and
solved, yeah, it's
there's
kind of
not a
hard
whole
to do
lot.
it again.
Yeah, when you come back to it, you're like, "I know what happens here." Well, what if you could play a game where you could play it over and over again, and your goal is you're a rookie cop and you're trying to retire. You're gonna go through the years, your character will grow, you'll retire. Um,
Hmm.
but the crimes are always gonna be unique unless, of course, you put in a seed, like, think Minecraft, where it's like, "Oh, I got the seed, this randomly generates." And you'll have a whole storyline where, did these case files happen? Did these murders happen? It's gonna generate and put, like, the clues together. It'll start, with, like, what is the crime? Okay, it was a murder. Who was the victim? Build the
Hmm.
story, and then start, like, rippling out of, like, okay, after I've been working on the algorithm for a while actually, where it's like,
Hmm.
okay, the victim, what was they murdered with? Okay, this is the crime weapon. This is the crime, the weapon. Uh, where is it? Generate
Hmm.
that. Here's the location for it.
Hmm.
Who are what was the motive behind it?
Hmm.
Generate that. Put that
Hmm.
somewhere. Who are the suspects?
Suspects.
Who's
Yeah.
who's actually the person? Like, it starts with the real, like, here is the whole linear progression of how to solve the crime, and then it goes back and it adds noise,
Hmm.
where it adds the things that could lead you astray. It gives you other suspects, it adds other potential murder like, was it the knife or was it the fire poker? Was
Hmm.
it, it was something else, like, and then plans and has the way you'd use the evidence system to
Hmm.
validate whether it was a true thing or not, um,
Hmm.
and it puts in the noise after that. So then it's up to you to narrow it down, and I came up.
Okay. Is that kind of like a Papers, Please concept there with
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I am heavily inspired by, Papers, Please, because I loved the way where you would have your name of the identity of the person on the passport, and you would check your thing, and if it says, like, "No discrepancies," yeah, you're like, "Ah, that's
Mhm.
good." And I want to reuse some of that,
Mhm.
for you get the fingerprints, you then match the fingerprints to, like, "Hey, here's a knife." oh, has a fingerprint on it. Do they
Mm-hmm.
match? And you would like do that. And I'm going to do this thing called a scenario corkboard, where as you collect all the evidence and you come around, you'll
Mm-hmm.
basically get these like little Polaroids that are then put on this like corkboard,
Yeah.
and you can pick them
Okay.
up and drag them and move them around and right click and link them.
Is this like a separate page that you go to, or is it like to the side of your?
It's yeah, you open it up, it's your case file. You can open your
Okay.
case file and go to the scenario and then be like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
here it is," and swap between scenario, timelines, and I was gonna have it where you can save different scenarios, like, you can group things together and maybe like, "Oh, this is what I think is happening," and then you're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Well, I'll save that as a scenario," and then you could create a new scenario. Just kinda get, like, an idea of, like, what makes sense,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually you would just say, "Okay, I'm gonna accuse these people or this person of this,"
Okay.
and, like, kinda do the whole clue thing, but
Yeah, and then you can kind of it's where you get your further investigation, where you kind of bring him into like a room, and it's like, okay, number five, or you could be like, right, like is something similar, maybe that, or
yeah,
um,
I haven't gone through all of those aspects. I'm still getting a lot of the, like, the flow figured out. The core
mhm.
thing is making sure it's fun and that it's right. So right now it's very simple in the beginning. It's like I have an apartment prototype I've got to build. I'm taking looked at different floor plans and I'm inspired by like a layout. A lot of it's going to be hard coded for the prototype. The
Mhm.
victim, the whole scenario, the generation is all going to be hard coded first. Um,
Yeah,
get the camera set up, get the character moving around, get the animations.
your
Um,
basics for
yeah,
sure. Just like the hard stuff everything that stays the same, or like your very like common things, like the beginning structure. Is I
yeah.
guess the word is what I'm looking for is structure.
Before building the whole intense generative algorithm in code, I'm going to hard code it and play the scenario and make sure it's fun.
Hmm.
Like, I don't wanna go through and pull a Blizzard, I don't know. Like, where you go
Yeah.
through and and you just throw it
Yeah.
together and say, "This is an amazing idea. I had it in my brain. I'm gonna send it out there. Why don't you guys love my idea?" Like, I want it if it's not fun, if I can't sit down and play it and not love it, if I can't have other people play it and be like, "Oh, this is a cool concept," to then be like, "Ooh, now you get to introduce the whole, like, new generative crimes and generating floor plans and then getting them out of the apartment and exploring and all these things." Like,
Hmm.
the first prototype's very, very simple. It's gonna take place in a singular apartment, the whole thing.
Okay.
It's very short,
Very
simple
beginning,
prototype.
simple.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to have the core game loop fun.
Because you want, if you're beginning like there's the game loop itself is not fun, then the rest of it isn't gonna matter.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
exactly. The corkboard might be too much. Like, the whole, like, scenario
Hmm.
thing,
Hmm.
it might be more cumbersome than fun. Like,
Hmm.
I keep thinking, like, I think this would be a cool idea because I think about all the conspiracy movies, crime shows where they've got, or what's that meme? I'll edit it in the video here, but it's like the
Yeah.
guy who's got like a cigarette, he's got like the board with all the like lines, and he's like, ah,
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
I think
With
it's sunny
yeah.
in Philadelphia. I think it's
Yeah,
always sunny,
where he's like kind of doing the like his hands are up and he's like like the
and
crazy
there's
conspiracy theory.
yeah, and there's all this
Yeah,
stuff on the wall behind it. Yeah, like
yeah.
I think everybody wants like when they'll watch, like, Criminal Minds, they'll watch all this stuff, and they'll see all this stuff on the board. They wanna be the person that is, like, putting the stuff together, and
Hmm.
I wanna have, like, a level of difficulty changes where how much do you wanna be handheld versus, like, enjoying the story of, like, going through this or, like,
Okay,
no
yeah.
clues, you could figure out how it all connects and put it together, and
Hmm.
I think people love that. I mean, that's why I get the crime binders and try to detect who this crime person is from, like, the tabletop crime games.
Hmm. Oh yeah, and you just kind of like put together like, how much do you want your how much can you do on your own by
Mhm.
just reading the beginning like synopsis of like what's going on and being able to put it together.
Yeah.
Um,
Get all the
yeah,
clues, see if you can solve it.
I mean, yeah, I feel like that. Or you also have like very story mode driven
Mhm.
versus yeah. I like games that go with that route where it's not just okay, we're gonna throw more things at you and that makes it more difficult. It's more like okay, we're just gonna give you the tools and now you can figure it out. Or like
Yeah.
is what I'm
E
understanding.
exactly, and I think it'd be cool, like, most people like to share their seeds in Minecraft too. We're like, "Oh, I really found this really, like, crazy general." I think
Mm-hmm.
it'd be cool to be like, "Here is my seed for my run." And each time you make a decision, it, like, adds a value for where the path went so
Mm-hmm.
that you could have someone else like, maybe you wanna say, "Hey, I really loved this storyline I played through," so that
Mm-hmm.
you could give someone that seed and basically be able to say, like, where in the years from, like, beginning of the game when you're, like, a rookie all the
Yeah.
way through to, like, near retirement, like, where would you wanna give them the seed to be like, where do you want them to start? So you can
Mm-hmm.
have people, like, replay your scenarios that you've liked.
Yeah. It's like its own story. Yeah.
Yep, because I want it to be
Yeah.
different for every but, like, Baldur's Gate is another inspiration, but I have this game idea before Baldur's Gate. Like, it's been
Mm-hmm.
something on my mind to build for a long time, and the fact that I really love that no 2 playthroughs are the same,
Mm-hmm.
generally. I love that experience, and I want that.
It's a fresh experience every time you do it because there's some other outcome. Because it's like, okay, I interviewed X amount of suspects. What if I didn't do that this next time? What
Mhm.
if, I didn't find the X clue, and or I made different assumptions, or I didn't investigate one bedroom in the house.
Yeah.
Did that change anything? There could be a lot of how far you want to get in depth by the butterfly effect of just one cause, one action that you do that completely alters, yeah,
Yeah,
your cause and effect. Yeah.
exactly. We'll see how it goes. I have a lot of things I need to get done this
Yeah.
sprint.
I mean, I like your idea of getting just the structure down at least because that makes sense. I mean, there's not much you have cool ideas, but will it fit once you have the beginning?
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah, you gotta start small. You gotta start
Mm-hmm.
simple. Don't overwhelm yourself. I'm also learning a bunch during this time too, so I'm balancing for that. I've got a whole schedule. Should all work. And I'm accounting for like buffer for issues, problems. That gives
Mm-hmm.
me a window to be like, I don't have to be successful every single day. I just have
Mm-hmm.
to I've got a buffer for additional time. I've got flex days to be like, well, if it didn't work out, I can use the flex day to finish up what I was trying to do. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like oh man, I didn't get it done because I booked myself too much work in this period of
Yeah,
time.
I overloaded myself. Yeah, kind of deal. Yeah.
Enough of me and
Mm.
my game dev stuff. Let's do a band check in. How are things going with you? You're in a band, just for everybody to know. You're going to be doing
Yes.
live thing, but you're working on your stuff. How's that going?
Yeah. So we're trying to figure out. Yeah, we're gonna do this live stream event. It's originally was gonna happen this month. Now we're looking into next month with the other bands that we know, because they're working on their material as well. So we kind of actually are thinking more of a winter type schedule. We have 4 songs now
Mm,
that we have a structure for. Now it's just getting every song down in the sense of where's the beginning, your verse, your bridge, your chorus, and how does that all flow. We have a good songs beginning to end for the most part. We have the beginning solid, end solid. Now it's more in the middle stuff that we're trying to figure out. And
okay.
so the music we play is heavy metal, a little bit of screaming in there too, with some soft vocals on the back end as well. And what I like is we kind of have like a written out, like, okay, what is our end goal?
Mhm.
Which we want to have at least 6 songs. So
Okay.
realistically, we're actually making really good progress because 4 songs, I mean, just to have like an idea of where we're at being like a few months in, I'm pretty happy about. And anytime we've gotten together, we've made progress. But
Good. Sound like you guys
for
are
like the
jiving.
yeah, we're all just driving. What's awesome is there's just this other day. It was me, my the keys. Anthony is his name, who plays keys, and then we have our vocalist Riley. We all got together and just kind of had a little bit of a jam session, and we got to work on what the bass player presented in the Google Drive that we have, and
Mhm.
we were able to work on that and add my guitar part in, and then Riley was able to write vocals around that, and we all like shared our ideas and they were all open to it. Like I didn't feel dumb
Hmm.
showing my stuff.
That's
Riley didn't
awesome.
feel dumb showing their stuff. And Anthony has been really good at being an open listener because he's new to this genre. Usually he listens to hip hop. So
Mm.
he's made very big strides in having an open mind in the genre that this
Yeah,
is. And I
that's
I
cool.
like the ideas that I brought in because I've grown up on heavy metal and like screaming music, the
Oh
anthem
yeah.
of my life. Our band name is Bag of Dinosaurs, BOD. Yeah, Bag of Dinosaurs. I like
Okay,
it.
that's cool. I
Um,
didn't know that. That's awesome.
yeah,
Where do you
that's
guys just?
the
When did you guys make that name? Was that recent or?
we've had the name. I haven't mentioned it yet until now because
Yeah. Okay.
we were still working stuff out, and now things have started to get to a point where I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let's start talking. Like, let's start getting out there because we got material. It's like we could start kind of getting like maybe like little teasers out there. So we're settled on the name. I think there was some discussion about changing it, but Bag of Dinosaurs, I think, has kind of stuck. We've got an Instagram page now. We are talking with the other bands that they want us to like help. We're going to be the openers.
Hmm.
We were thinking of trying to go to some shows with them and just kind of see what's going on. Um, but yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on that's in the pipeline. I'm not too sure
Yeah,
with what's
that's fine.
happening.
Don't say things you can't commit to or can't be sure about. So it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah,
When it
yeah.
shows, we'll put clips in. We'll like give you guys little tastes of stuff.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. We're all very busy people too. That's the other thing that's awesome. Is like we all want to do this band and we all want to be like out there, but I have my commitments. Riley
as
has
do
their
I.
commitments. So what's awesome is there hasn't been a lot of pressure, and that's why originally we were like, we're gonna shoot for this month to be like do our live stream event. We're gonna do get these songs out there, and then we started making the songs. And this kind
Hmm.
of goes into like the previous conversation with getting structure. We were like, we got a date. We made the two songs, the first two ones, and we were like, okay, maybe we need to push the date out a little bit because if it's going to naturally take us this long and we have a like if this is going to be the natural structure, we need to refit other things around.
Yes. So that goes in. I really don't want to bring it back to my game dev stuff, but I'm gonna just tip my toe in and pop back out.
Okay.
My and this kind of goes like all content creation. I watched this video recently by Zephyr, who was like it's called
Mm-hmm.
like Pursuing Art at 35, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that kept coming back was like, oh man, I need to sit down and just bang this out and be like just get it done. Like I just need to
Yeah.
feel like I need to sit down and just do it. But that's not how creative work actually
Mm-hmm.
gets done. You see
No.
it with your band. You guys work together, you iterate, you come up with an idea, you guys spitball, it evolves, and
Yep.
eventually it settles and gets there. That is true for just about every when you're doing art, you do for sketch, you get better, you iterate, you polish. Game dev, same thing. You have a
Mm-hmm.
prototype, you build it, you polish it, you evolve it, you add it, you take things away, you
Yep.
simplify it. So I'm not giving release dates. I'm not saying I need to be done by X amount of time. I'm saying this is what I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna throw it out and I'm
Yep.
gonna get feedback and I'm gonna get better and get people's opinions, thoughts, and
Yep.
I think you're doing the same thing, which is what's helping you iterate faster. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. Don't constrain yourself into I need to create this amazing thing tomorrow or this weekend. Otherwise, I'm
Mm-hmm.
a total fraud. You need to be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna throw something out there and it's gonna suck and we're gonna work
Mm-hmm.
on it. And eventually
Yeah.
together, the thing we build as a team and build together is gonna become this amazing thing.
No, yeah, absolutely. Well, because like if you stress yourself out over the perfection, you're gonna burn yourself out before you even do anything.
Exactly. Oh, that's a good statement. Clip
Yeah.
that.
Little good quote of the day there.
Yeah.
I've been just really excited too because now I've noticed it even has like helped my playing for at home, and just jamming around because I used to just doodle on the guitar, and
Mhm.
now whenever I'm playing, I play with structure. I've learned how to actually like how to utilize my practice time better. I've like been learning.
Nice.
I Now is like a fun thing is like I don't feel like my practice time is just me messing around. It's actually
Mhm.
me like I'm actually dedicating towards something, and that's been really exciting.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know, it's been like fun because like I started learning guitar when I was like 12, 13, and then I just kind of like I messed around, and I went through the era of being the cool rock and roll kid trying to think he was really hot. you know. And then I was like, okay, I don't know, I don't want to learn music theory. I don't want to. I kind of hit a wall and plateaued, and then I got really insecure about it, and then I dropped the guitar for a little bit. And it's only been recently, like this stuff that's really made me like. It's been really remotivating to like want to pick it up again,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It's been like, I made my basement that I'm in. I kind of turned it into this little space where like, okay, I'm inspired to play again, and that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And also
Awesome.
just being around other people that are also passionate about creating has been really fun.
Yeah, who you surround yourself with plays a
Hmm.
big part in that, so good on you, man. Good on you.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm excited because the stuff that I'm learning, I feel I can also bring into any of the projects that we want to do together.
Yep.
And stuff that it's a trait that I can pour into other things.
I appreciate that. I have instruments here. I've got stuff that I'm like, "I'm gonna learn this," but I'm maxed out on my education learning for the moment.
Yep, that's fair.
Um, I'm learning a ton, and I'm super, super happy that, like, it's like bringing in a specialist, and it's something I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad I don't have to worry about this," because I already know I have to worry about, like, a render pipeline, and I have to worry about, like, how I'm gonna the assets in, how I'm gonna draw the assets, and all the
Yeah.
Blender and other aspects. So, having that to be like, "You know what? I'm gonna give this to Zach and see what shakes out, and we'll iterate, we'll evolve, and
Yep.
it'll be great." And it's good to have people to lean on for that. I wish
Oh
I
yeah.
could have a bunch of artists and I didn't have to do the art, but I also want to do it too because I have a certain art style and a certain thing that I'm passionate about and I really, really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And
The art that you want
if
to capture. Yeah.
yeah, an essence.
Uh-huh.
And if I ever do hire people to do things whenever in the future when the studio is up and running and I'm like doing it full time, the thing I want to be able to do is be like, if I'm going to hire an artist, an editor, a 3D modeler,
Yeah.
I want to be able to know, like, hey, give me a project, show me your work, look at the their topology of their models, look at their art, look at the way they edit things so that
Mm-hmm.
I know that they could achieve the thing I want out of it. Because it's
Yeah.
easy to be like, "I'm an expert artist," and then you get their stuff and you're like, "Hey, I got you a bunch of stuff. Can you go and get it done?" Then they miss the ball. They actually
Mm-hmm.
lied to you. They actually aren't that skilled, and you didn't have the way to check for it, and you're still doing it anyway, and I want to make sure that I know who I'm hiring, I know the skills I could do, and being that, like, I don't have to be an expert. I
Mm-hmm.
just have to be competent enough to know the style and the workflow
Yeah.
that I can hand it off and be able to check that workflow to be like, "Yes,
Mm-hmm.
this is going in the direction I want," instead of like, "Oh, you're the artist, you know best." I don't want that. I want to be, like,
Yeah.
in the know. I
This is
wanna be
the
the
yeah.
director.
Hmm. This, you want to be able to communicate the direction you want things to go, and have a clear, like, the artist to be able to understand that and kind of be able to envision what you're envisioning,
Yeah,
and you guys can have a clear communication on that.
exactly. Now
Hmm.
I also really do love art. Like, I love
Hmm.
drawing and doodling and stuff. There's something, like, really relaxing about it. It's a really nice way to, like, let my programmer brain stop. So
Yeah.
I'm doing this also for myself because I just wanted to learn something that I'm really passionate about, but never gave it
Hmm.
the try hard that I wanted to.
Yeah. Pouring yourself into it and kind of seeing a new perspective of something, like, than what you usually have your usual bread and butter as.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's fine if it sucks. It's totally
Hmm.
fine. I just wanna at least
It's like no stress too
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
But yeah,
Totally understand that.
that's awesome that, you guys are getting there. That's so cool.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to say more about it, but I'm gonna one. We'll kind of check in every week, and once we get everything finalized, I'll be excited to kind of talk about it even more once we have everything finished up, because that's where I really want to like talk about, is once it's out there and people could listen to it, or like,
Mhm.
once we get like our first song really recorded and done. I'm gonna be so excited to show that, because like we've put a lot of work into it, and I'm just happy to see what the results will be.
Yeah, I'm super excited too, and I hope everybody else is excited,
Yeah.
and I think with that, we can call it a night or a day or an afternoon, wherever time you're listening to this wonderful podcast.
Yes.
All
Well, alrighty.
right, everybody. Thank you so much. Stay awesome.
See ya.